What's up, everybody? We're back. I'm gonna play some matches. I think that I'm hot right now. Last time we went 3-1, and now we're gonna go 4-0. I think. So let's go. Wish me luck. Once again, even though this happened in the past, I need your luck. I need that power. Let's do this. Boom. We're up on time. He's done for. Actually, I don't know what to do. I know it's worse to do non-center pawn for center pawn, but if he takes, then this should be okay, I think. Do I want to keep the pressure? I feel like I'm doing everything that he wants me to do, which is not ideal. But let's go for it. We're walking into the fire. Okay. Just try and pressure this and see what happens. Take, bishop, or knight. I calculated that incorrectly. Not a good start, folks. I got a little too antsy in the pantsy.
These boys get that syrup in them. They get a little antsy in their pantsy.
It's not over, though. It's not over till it's over. Raven says never concede, because people at my level will mess up, and I believe that. Because if I was this guy, I would mess up. There's always hope at 1000 elo. We never give up. And we never give up. Why would I do that? Ugh, I have no idea why I would do that. I'm still not giving up, because we never give up. And the first game's a warm-up anyway. I don't think it even counts, technically. By the official rules of tournament play, that's an official do-over. We got some tricks. We got some tricks, baby, because we never give up. I think we got a stalemate, or a draw. Maybe not. Alright, maybe not. Dang it, I feel like we were so close. I could have done it. Well, dang it. Alright, that was not a great showing. We'll just have to go again. We're just gonna have to go again, folks. Bear with me. Like I said, the first game, we don't worry about the first game.
Oh, that little guy. I wouldn't worry about that little guy.
This is really where the boys become men on game 2. You know what they say, first is the worst, second is the best. Third is the one with the hairy chest. This is the mate that gets, like, beginners, but I don't remember how to stop it. It'd be very embarrassing if I fall for whatever it is this guy's pulling. No tricks, come on. I don't know what I'm doing. Why can't everyone just play, like, E4, E5? Like, that's all I want. Is that so much to ask for? I think I'm doing good. I'm sure there's some blunder I made already that Raven will point out, but I don't think I'm losing. Okay. Alright, at least I'm redeeming myself a little bit. No tricks are working on me. Not the big dog. Alright, 2 blunders and 2 mistakes, but whatever. A win's a win. That's what I always say. New 10 minutes. Let's go. Let's go. Let's play a nice calm game. Please E5. Do a brother a favor. Knight. Got our knights on the golden squares. Okay, up a pawn. Nice center, bro. I want my knight here, I think. Maybe here to get here. I need to go here. It's hard to get this knight in the action, but there must be a way. I'm also happy to lock down this bishop, so I'm gonna try and push this and keep that bishop completely locked up. Put him in bishop jail. I think I'm good to put this guy over here. Eventually we'll want to attack over here. Get back there. Get back blocking that row. Take it. Alright, Stella got her groove back. We're back, baby. Everyone in the crowd, put your hands up. We're doing it. Give me something. We took down the Belgian. I've always wanted to beat a Belgian man. Take that. Put that in your waffle maker and smoke it. He's gonna let the clock run out, looks like, so I'll just chill and enjoy my mate. It's what powers Paraguayans. Steen Vord, it's very rude of you to make me wait. I'm using my platform to publicly shame Steen Vord. You will pay, Steen. You will pay. I've officially beaten the most rude man in Belgium. He got what he deserved. Steen, you messed with the wrong guy. Don't ever come for an American living in Paraguay like me ever again. It's a positive rating for the day. 1 more to go. Everyone, get your mate, get your beverages, get your treats. I know you all love your treats. It's time for game 4. We gotta go in ready. You already know what I'm playing. Fans of the show know what I'm playing. E6, D5. Nice. I think that's a very bad move in general, because the reason I put my pawn here is I want to do this so I can get my bishop here, and he has a sweet open lane. Who cares about that? Not me. Not me. Alright, I was going for a little trick, but he got me. I believe that's free money. Which is free tempo. Take, I move here, this takes. I take with my bishop, he takes with his knight. I take with this. Not enough yet. Ah, crap. Ah, not over though. Alright, we could beat the Belgians, but the Scots are taking us to town. Although this is a very weak side now. I feel like I could get something going possibly. Yeah, we're definitely lost, so I'm just going to try and do some wackies. Just essentially try and hope he does that, and then I could go here. Maybe he get a little something going. Alright, I know I said never resign, but I'm resigning. It's over. Oh, I could beat the Belgians, but not the Scots. This is shameful. This is a great win for Scotland. Weeko, you did it. There will be no partying in the Kevin Dome tonight. Raven's gonna yell at me. Oh well, we tried. Better luck next time. And there were silly mistakes, but we'll learn together from my mistakes. So I'll see you guys in a little bit.
I mean, it's it's alright, like...
So, okay, so you played some games? How did you
did. Not great. They were interesting, at least.
Nice.
I always got in bad positions and then tried to claw my way back. So it's not great that I got into bad positions, but at least they were fun, I guess.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the games. So E4, C5, do you know what this is called?
The Sicilian.
Nice. Good job. Knight F3, G6. So yeah, today at the end of class, I'm going to show you what to do against this nonsense. The Sicilian is one of the best openings, but I have something in mind for you that's going to really rock your socks off. So G6, Knight C3, Bishop G7, D4, takes, Knight takes D4. Alright, this is very good. How did you know to play this D4 stuff?
I didn't know, I guess. I just always do.
It's really good. So this is called the open Sicilian when you do this. It creates a really interesting dynamic. You're trading a central pawn for a wing pawn, which is supposed to be bad, but at the same time, your bishops are just going to fly out.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem... Like, if I do anything else, then my knight's running around. I'd much rather just simplify it in that way.
Yeah.
It was my, more simple thought process than actually understanding what I'm doing.
Yeah, that makes some sense. Your bishops are just both open now, right? If in any other situation, you would have to really hurt this bishop, for instance, with this type of move.
Is it like the open or closed considered one better than the other, or is it just a matter of preference?
The open is much better than the closed. Yeah. There are a few different... Anything that's not the open is called an anti-Sicilian, and there are a few that are somewhat good, but in general, this is called the closed when you close off your bishop, and this is just... It's always at least equal for black.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's part of the reason that everyone plays the Sicilian, is that immediately from the get-go, this move creates a fight. Essentially, if you don't play d4 and go for these dynamic setups in which you have one less center pawn, but all this development, then you could just be worse.
Yeah.
So takes, knight c6. Okay, you spotted that they were attacking this. You should probably reinforce it. It would make more sense to defend it, because the thing is when you take here, you're letting them bring a pawn to the center.
Yeah.
They get a really nice center now.
Yeah, I was thinking that, because I did feel like I was playing right into his hands, but for whatever reason I did it. But yeah, I could feel that it was like playing his game instead of my game when I was doing that.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of putting it. Queen f3, d6, bishop c4, knight f6. So here you had a really interesting option. Did you see that the queen was x-raying this pawn?
No.
Well, what do you think you could do?
I could push the pawn and then attack that pawn.
Yeah, I think this would have been a nifty trick. It's not going to win anything. They'll take, you'll take, they'll block, and now their queen is defending, so you're not even winning the rook. But you go back and you've sort of ruined their structure. They have ugly pawns, and this is called the dragon bishop when it's fianchettoed like this. It's sort of dead because there's this pawn here now.
And if I take take the bishop with the queen, can't I just then skewer the queen with the bishop?
That is very wishful thinking. They are going to take with the knight.
I don't know, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't even know what you were talking about at first.
We're writing that one out. Except
Yeah.
not really, but I should, if I had pride.
That's a really funny comment, honestly. Like, my Grandmaster intuition, I don't even consider this move.
Yeah, obviously you should.
It's just off my radar.
Yeah, because your tactics are not 1,000 level.
No, that's creative, though.
Yeah.
At one in 1,000, you're going to see something a Grandmaster can't spot.
And 1 in 1,000 they will take with the queen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's worth a shot.
You can't win if you don't play.
Yeah, there's definitely a chance. Okay, so rook e1. I love the way you're developing. It seems like in these games you botch some pieces due to tactics, but once we can get that in check, you're going to be on the high road. You're going to be living the life. Okay, so now this is a big question. First of all, I think you just miscounted. I remember this one. You got to, if it's 4 on 4, then so this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. In this case, you need to be taking something of equal material, of equal level, right? Like, so here and here, now it's 3 on 3. 3 on 3 would still be fine, but this needs to be equal to whatever you're taking, right? So there would need to be a bishop here.
Yeah.
Instead, it's a pawn, so at the end of the day, you're going to be trading off these 3 pieces for 2 of these and the pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quick maths.
In general, I mean, this is really more just an error of counting. Counting's hard, but yeah, I guess I just take the pawn and then I move the bishop away, or am I just letting them take with their pawn?
So that's the big question. It's always good to ask yourself, should you even trade? What are you trading here? You're not trading this pawn, you're trading this one.
Yeah.
Right, because that one is just going to fill the other spot.
Yeah.
In this case, you should not trade the pawn. This bishop hates this pawn.
Yeah.
This bishop is made to be pure doo-doo.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Just move the bishop back.
Yeah.
Just keep the tension. If they play d4, this square is very weak because they have no DRB. You can just hop your knight in.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see this with a lot of grandmasters. They're just happy just leaving the tension here. Just letting it simmer like a pressure cooker.
Nice.
You ever had a George Foreman grill?
Yes.
Is it anything similar or not?
I don't think there's any pressure involved in the George Foreman process, but I get the general idea of what you're saying.
Maybe I'm mixing up advertisements, but I remember seeing something like a George Foreman rice cooker.
It might exist.
All right.
George Foreman, friend of the show, always welcome on our program if you're watching.
Yeah.
Mr. Foreman.
He's the forest of the men.
Yeah.
Bishop takes. Okay, yeah, this was not good. Here, at this point, you gotta just snatch as many pawns as possible. Why not take this one?
I was thinking I don't want to trade queens because I'm just lost, so I thought maybe the longer I keep my queen alive, the more chances I have for something bad happening, like of him making some kind of error.
So that could make some sense, but you should get your queen out of the way of the rook. Normally where you want your queens, you don't want your queens on open files because that's where the rooks are going to be hitting them from.
Yeah.
But you would want your queen to just be right next to an open file, like with a window in.
So A3, I guess?
Yeah, I think A3 would be fantastic. And
Yeah.
It's protect, like this pawn shields it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes
this
sense.
is this is high level thinking.
Yeah.
You're really learning. So Queen E3. Queen E3 also technically satisfies the principle, but it blocks your rook.
Yeah.
Which is not ideal. You want your queen to be on a file where they're both pawns of both colors, because then your rooks won't even have anything to do, really. So Queen E3 here. You said you didn't want to trade the queens, so...
Then I think I got scared of then the bishop's going to be attacking along with the queen, so I gave up on my plan of not being scared.
Oh, no. Bishop E5 would have been good, just to seize the diagonal.
Yeah.
You are, of course, completely lost here because you're down a piece, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, I was aware that I was lost, but it didn't feel like, I resigned at one layer where it's completely a disaster, but I'm down, but, if I make a mistake, you can make a mistake, so I might as well give it a shot.
Yeah. Queen D3, takes, E6, Rook D1. Okay, so the knight is obviously coming to this square. This is where the knight wants to come. How can you stop that?
C4.
Good, nice. Build the concrete. You're just going to play B3. If they attack it, everything is defended. You would have good chances of holding on here. Okay, right as I say that, I realize, you're still completely lost here. Their bishop is scoping your rook, and there are too many tactical issues here. You're dead no matter what. You had no shot, kid.
Whoops.
You were dead to rights. Okay, I don't know what this was.
That's when I resigned, because then I'm like, yeah. Or I think I resigned, or is this one where I keep going and hope... I think this is one where it kind of messes up and lets me almost back in.
Yeah, I think you had a chance here. I saw this game. Yeah.
We never give up.
Yeah.
As I said repeatedly during the game, during recording. And we never give up.
Yeah, you gotta... I mean, your chess is getting better, but you cannot be playing moves like this.
Yeah.
This is giving away a piece. I have a rule of thumb. Don't attack pieces with the same piece that you're attacking with, right?
Yeah.
If you're attacking a bishop with a bishop, that bishop is looking right back at you, kid.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to ever do that for many reasons.
Alright, Rook H3, A3. You got some pawns going here. You got a little pawn play. Why did you not take the pawn?
I really wanted to attack the king, but yeah, I did see it right as I like my move, but I got all excited about creating chaos.
Yeah. Little Joker.
Yeah.
Joker vibes.
Yeah.
F6, Rook H3, H5. I love this move. This is a fantastic move. These are moments of brilliance shining through. Yeah, all you need is just to keep the moves like this, keep these genius moves, and then get rid of the one move blunders.
Yeah.
Rook D8, nice, you snatched the piece. I thought you were going to come back here.
I did too.
And you were running your king in. This is perfect. Right here, okay, this is where you messed up. Can you find anything better to do here?
Take the... Well, no, I don't really see.
Believe in yourself. Rook G7. This is extremely sneaky. If they take, you're going to mate.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah. They don't have to take, to be clear. But this keeps the game really tense. Your pawns are going to run.
That would have been so much better. I was so close to clawing my way back. I would have been so excited if I won that one.
Yeah.
That would have been a sweet win.
Yeah.
After giving away my bishop for absolutely free.
That would have been exactly like the comeback kid.
Yeah.
Okay, now you just lost.
Now it's over. Yeah.
Yeah, good rule of thumb, you need to poke the king out of this little cubby if you want to get this pawn through. If you push, that's not going to do anything unless you can poke the king out of the cubby.
I now know that after playing through that.
Nice. All right, let's go to the next one.
Oh, I was so close. Now you show me that move, I need... Oh.
Yeah, let me just go back to the beginning of all these games so we start from the beginning and not the
No
end.
spoilers for the games they just watched me play.
Yeah, no spoilers.
This guy disrespected me trying to pull these tricks.
Honestly, like, your chess is... Some parts of your chess are getting much better. I really feel like you're sucking up a lot of this GM knowledge.
Well, we're on the golden squares.
Yeah. On the golden squares, and this knight is not on the golden squares, so you hop in even further.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful chess right here. Sometimes I think you're the one that should be teaching me. Okay, well, right here, yeah, you messed up. How can you just attack this queen and this pawn with something new?
B4.
Yeah, this would be the end of the game.
Yeah.
Right. Just the queen has to move, and you start snacking. Take the pawn, take the rook. Knight f5. Yeah, you went the other way. Yeah, just knight before the game is going to be over. If the queen is pretty much whenever you have minor pieces out and their queen is like farther out than this line, just like past this line, not including it, you should look for ways to attack the queen and just push it around.
Yeah.
Especially
Which I was kind of doing, but yeah, I could have done a better job in just taking my time.
Yeah. Especially when you have minor pieces out, like the more minor pieces on the board, the more you're going to have these chances. Like if this knight was not on the board, then you wouldn't have anything to do here.
Yeah.
But because there are just so many minor pieces on the board, you can harass the queen much more effectively. Knight f5, okay, here. d6, great move, opening the game. You know, they've been dawdling around with their queen. g4, you snacked. Queen f3.
Oh, we snapped.
Yeah. We snack all right. Knight d4 looks like a good move. Honestly, like, it's a perfect move. I can't really criticize it. I do like that these pieces aren't aligned, though. Here, I would have played bishop d7.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting the bishop in, but it just seemed like, you know, I didn't want the opportunity to go, and I couldn't think that many moves ahead.
You don't want to snack on the mango on h1?
I would, but you know, again, I want to strike while the iron's hot and keep the pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
But again, I see that you're right, but...
There are only so many ways you can snack as well.
Yeah, it's true.
So knight d4, yeah, if they played queen g3, they would have been kept in the game. You would have had a few pawns, but it's not resignable yet. By the way, wait, is this, when we're recording, okay, good, we got their names as well. I like to add that type of, one of the recordings we did didn't have their names, and so that...
I got it, yeah, because like I said, they wouldn't know why I was berating the Belgian man if they couldn't see the flag next to his name.
Nice, this was beautiful, though. What a nice mate. You really outclassed him.
That did feel good, and
Yeah.
I got my knight achievement on chess.com, apparently.
Yeah, the killer knight.
Yeah.
Alright, e4, e5. This is perfect. So f6, I noticed you played knight c3, which is good. Another thing you can try here, just slice through. They're never going to be able to castle here.
Yeah.
Just leave it there. Like, what are they going to do? They're stuck.
Nothing.
You played knight c3, they played knight c6. d5, of course I do think bishop c4 is better, but at the same time I'm happy to see d5 because you're really sucking up all that knowledge about the pawns on the 5th rank. You
Yeah.
get this with a tempo, it pretty much is never a bad deal to get this with a tempo. Knight d4, takes. That knowledge is crystallizing in your noggin. Bishop e7, bishop e3. This is fantastic. Check. Bishop d7. So a really sneaky thing that a lot of GMs do here is they'll check to bring this bishop here because the bishop wanted to come here, and then they'll move the bishop back.
Hmm.
Have you ever seen that before?
No, but that is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then you just get a game like a tempi.
Yeah. I guess here it's not so useful, but normally if there's a knight here, then the knight would really hate it.
Yeah.
Because it couldn't go to that square anymore. Really sneaky stuff. You played queen a4. They took. I would have taken with the knight.
Yeah, because then you could do like a discovered attack.
Yeah, this would be really dangerous. And the other thing as well here, think about, do you notice anything wrong about their structure here?
I mean, there's many good outposts for the knight.
Yeah, why?
Because the way that it's oscillating, I don't know the correct terminology, but...
But why? You're hitting upon the right factor. That's why you're completely
There's
right.
no bishop. There's
Exactly.
no white bishop to attack them.
Exactly. He's put all his pawns on dark squares and he's traded off the wrong bishop.
Yeah, his bishop's so bad this game.
Yeah. This is a perfect move, this bishop b5. This is what you were thinking about when you played bishop b5, right?
Yeah.
You need to trade the bishops?
Yeah.
Nice. Really positional thinking. Yeah, if you take with the knight, this is just over. Like, even if they play queen d7, you can still take and get snacking because of the pin.
Yeah.
You're going to trade the queens and then pick up that mango. So they could go king here, but now your knight just oscillates here, and
Yeah.
if your knight gets here,
Yeah.
it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, it does look better.
So takes, queen takes, king f8, f4. You brought your queen back, perfect. Knight h6, f5. I really love the way you handled this. You're really applying this info I talked about with the pawn on the 5th rank. If once your knight gets here, it's the end of the game.
Yeah.
Queen e8 here. Why didn't you chop?
I'm just scared to give up pieces, I guess. You know, I'm playing with simple like bishop is better than knight in many situations. So I'm just too slow to pull the trigger on stuff like that. Not that I'm saying it's correct, but that's the general problem.
Well, yes and no. On the one hand, it's bishop for knight is a bad trade if you don't get anything, but here you're ruining their structure. You're giving them double isolated pawns.
Yeah, it's true.
That's always going to be compensated. And then look at this. All you need to do is make sure that this pawn can't push, and this bishop is going to be locked in forever. So I would just play h4, h5. You could give this bishop a million moves. It's not going to be able to get out.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, I literally can't.
And your knight is just going to transfer around to e6. This would be beautiful. Okay, so anyway, you played knight b5, a4, you took. You got too focused on the mango. I would have honestly just checked. I think there should be a mate very soon here. Like king f7, you chop, you check to bring the king into g8. How are they going to stop this?
Yeah, that is much better.
This knight is just dominating. This knight is destroying. I mean, okay, honestly, we're splitting hairs here because you played a move that is obviously completely winning. But this would have been even more winning.
Yeah, no, it is good to learn. Like, yeah, again, I guess another thing that's sort of at my level. I don't look for mates. I'm just always looking for mangoes, as you say. But there are mates I'm leaving on the table.
Yeah. Yeah, just remember this. Like, a knight on e6 is literally worth, like, a rook. Pretty much. It's so fantastic because, like, you're hitting a lot of squares, and more importantly, you're hitting so many squares in their camp, it's so hard for them to arrange properly. Like, think about it. If they wanted to double on the c file to attack you, they can't do it.
Yeah.
Your knight is covering this square. Meanwhile, if their bishop wanted to get out, well, whoops, your knight is also covering that. Your knight is covering so many squares that happen to be useful to just so many of their normal ideas.
Yeah.
Okay, so you took, they took, you snapped, bishop d4. I like this. I like this a lot. You saw their rook was coming out, so you pushed them back.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good thinking.
Get back in your cage.
Yeah, that's another spark of brilliance. So rook d3.
We'll get there.
Queen b4. So right here, you had a completely game over move. Why not rook c3? Just break through.
Yeah.
Break through to the other side.
Again, I'm just so wrapped up in like not losing pieces and gaining pieces that I lose track of the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you take my bishop, but I win the game.
Yeah, you're gonna get a bishop, you're gonna get a rook, and mate is about to happen here.
Yeah.
And if they check you, you could just run.
Yeah.
And you're safe.
Yeah, missing the forest for the trees, as they say.
Yeah. Queen a2, rook c3. Now you got it though.
Yeah.
Check here. You hit them with the check. Oh, he didn't.
Yeah. Steamed Vordy.
Not a friend of the show.
No, not a friend of the show.
The very first enemy of the show.
Enemy of the show, Steamed Vordy.
Enemy number one.
Yeah.
Public enemy number one. Nice. All right. So d4. Okay, you were black this game. Knight f3, d5, a3, c5. Alright, so yeah, I wanted to talk about this position. This is all fine here. You're playing this completely fine. I like, by the way, against queen pawn, you should be playing c5. So that's correct. That's good.
Yeah, I'm always very happy if they take too. I don't think they should take because then my bishop's awesome.
Yeah, they shouldn't take. Yeah, they should have just done something else like e3 or c3 to maintain a pawn in the center. Because, yeah, whenever they make this trade, this is just like that trade in the Sicilian. Strategically, this is very risky for them.
Yeah.
For now, they're ahead in development, so it shouldn't be a problem because they can do this back to you. But long term, a lot of people don't appreciate that if they don't do anything and they just develop normally, and you just get a normal middle game, you are going to be better with this extra center pawn.
Yeah.
They played bishop f4, and now you had an opportunity. Why not hit this pawn and this pawn with something? If you do that, the game should be over.
Yeah, so b6.
Yeah, right. You're attacking this pawn, and if they defend it with b4, you get snacking on f2. King d2, and the king's on the run. Okay, it's not the end of the game just yet, but this is bad.
That's very bad.
Yeah. How bad would you say it is?
It's pretty bad.
Nice. On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is it?
It's like a natural disaster level bad, like earthquake bad. Like, your life is ruined if you're that king right there. You're not getting back on the throne.
Yeah, that's true.
Your reign is over.
That's wise.
Yeah.
Knight c3, so you still had it even here. Queen b6.
Yeah.
Just remember it. Remember it for next time. Or no, actually, no, sorry. Queen b6 doesn't work anymore. They have e3, and now if you take knight a4, and your queen is bamboozled. Your queen is trapped.
All right, so do it before he gets that knight out.
Yeah. No, this is a very classic idea here. If this pawn is on a3, your queen can get bamboozled.
Yeah.
On b2. Knight a4, he's hitting your queen. He's also covering your only retreat square.
Yeah, yeah, all the squares are gone.
Yeah, this is something to watch out for.
Now the queen's reign is over.
Knight g4, okay, you got too full of the vinegar here. This is not good.
Yeah, I thought, if he just didn't see it, but he saw it.
Yeah, that's not the way you want to play chess, though. You don't want to play chess just hoping that your opponent is a blind man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, just develop with knight c6. Get your king castled.
Yeah, I did know it was worse, but I just hoped that he messed up.
Oh, Kevin. You can't be playing. That's called hope chess, where you're literally just hoping your opponent's going to make a doo-doo move. And when they don't make the doo-doo move, you're just worse.
I did see that.
Dug your hole.
I'm not going to lie. That's what I was doing.
Okay. Yeah, now sooner or later you're going to have to move your knight back.
Yeah.
Like an idiot.
Yeah.
You're going to have to admit your mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, check is really, really dubious. They should just play b4 and you're dead lost here. You need to stop this knight from coming in. So the first thing you could try is castle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you castle, then there's not going to be any fork there. They play knight c7, but then your rook can get out. And it looks scary, but they don't have anything to do. They could move their knight back and your rook would just get out of the way.
Yeah.
They could do something like this, where your queen is hit and your rook is hit, but then you would get 2 pieces for the rook. And this would be fine. So this would all be good. But you had an even better move. Why not e5? Your knight is defending it. You're making some use of your knight.
That would be good.
Yeah, I think it would have been nice. Yeah, queen a5, you're in a lot of trouble now because you have to understand, right? When they're threatening something and you respond with a counter threat, this only works if they can't respond with an even bigger threat. If they respond with a bigger threat, now you're doubly screwed.
Yeah.
Now you got one threat and you got the old threat.
Yeah.
You got 2 threats. Yeah, you would be completely.
That's too many threats.
Yeah. Yeah, you would be dead lost here. I think you could. Okay, this is honestly a little bit complicated. Somehow or another, yeah, your move worked out completely. They can't play knight d2 because then you take, and they can't take with the queen because of this rook dropping. So somehow or another, your tactic worked. I guess they can't play b4. They should play c3 though, and then they still have a threat of b4. This time reinforced by this c pawn.
It would have gotten you. You would have played b4, and I would have. I would have snacked. That's why I'm always hoping.
That's the benefit of hope chess.
Sometimes they don't do it.
Yeah, that's true. That serves me right. Queen takes. Okay, well, you are losing here, though.
Oh, yeah, no, it went very poorly.
This guy played better than the GM.
It went really bad.
Yeah, this is terrible. They should just play rook a4 and just start snacking. Look at this. Queen c5 takes. It looks like you're able to snack back. Not so fast. This is the return of the snack.
That would have been painful.
Yeah. So bishop d3, e5, f3. Yeah, can we talk about this? Why do you gotta stop hanging pieces?
When I'm like behind, I kind of sort of panic, and I just put it all into like whatever attack I have going on.
You can't play that way. You can't. Don't panic.
Yeah.
That's like the first rule of chess. You can't panic.
I panicked because I'm like behind. I need to like, I don't know, get something going, or else it's just gonna like play out, and I'm lost anyway.
I think you're just making up a story.
No, that's really like kind of the thought process because I know I'm behind, and like I'm thinking there might be some fork or something. Like I'm kind of forking the bishop, so that's just the general thought process.
Yeah, but this is like my student who always resigns because he tells himself that like the 500s he's playing against are gonna play like super GMs. Like you're assuming your opponent is gonna play at a much higher level than they are actually.
You don't think this is so lost that like even a pretty bad player like me and this guy would just have it?
You have 2 pawns here. You have 2 pawns for the piece. You're definitely losing. You're definitely losing. If you played 100 games with someone around your level, you would lose the majority of games from this position. But if you play well, you would probably win.
Yeah.
If you play with a bit more skill, if you play with like 100 points, like more strength than him, whatever like you want to estimate that as, then you would probably win. You're only down a piece here.
Yeah.
And you got a few pawns.
Yeah, that's
You already got a few nibbles.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Don't forget about the nibbles. So bishop, yeah, this is just walking straight into the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, because now you're down 2 pieces. 2 pieces is a lot. Just move your knight back and be happy. This really isn't that bad. Like, they castle here. Okay, honestly, this is pretty ugly. I'm gonna be honest. It is pretty ugly because this pawn is very weak here. But no, you would play knight d5. You got some tricks.
Yeah.
They'd have to play something like knight e4. No, knight e4. Look at this. The queens are both attacking each other. You can get snacking.
Yeah.
If they take your rook, you get the queen, and if they take your queen, your rook gets out of harm's way.
That is a good example of how, yeah, I shouldn't. I knew I wasn't like trying to give up, but in a way I was giving up that I didn't even recognize.
Yeah, just don't give up. Don't resign against 500s.
Yeah, I wasn't resigned, but in a certain way in my head I did without actually hitting the resign button.
But you understand what I'm talking about, though. Like, you're telling me, or just in general, like your diagnosis. This is something I see all the time. It's something that happens even at like players of my level. They just tell themselves some story that's not based in reality at all, and then to just, because they already sort of think that there's just no hope. They just make the situation much worse than it has to be.
Yeah, for sure. I can see how that's what happened.
Yeah. Bishop f5, they castled. Okay, so he didn't even take. He should have just taken and been happy getting another piece. So takes, rook d8, rook b1, queen c5. Here are you should be completely winning if you find the right move. You got an x-ray, right? You got this.
Yeah, so I'm just thinking, what do I take with the rook? Take the knight, I guess?
Yeah, exactly, because otherwise they're going to take your queen.
Yeah.
You took here and it was just queen for queen, but if you take here, it's a free knight.
Yeah.
This would have been better. So 94, you took. Yeah, you lose the queen now. You're down 2 pieces here. Rook d2, you got. Okay, you do got some tricks though. Takes here. f6, good. Bishop g3, that's an annoying move, isn't it?
There's nothing. Is there anything I could do there? I felt like I was essentially doomed.
You got to distract the bishop in some way. I would play f5 here. It's just at this point you're down 2 pieces, so it's kind of a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
If you're only down 1 piece, there's a lot of room to just like try to swindle them, but down 2 pieces, you need to throw all your chips on the table. This is the idea. You're just gonna play h5 and h4.
Yeah.
This definitely shouldn't work, but I don't know. Like, if they take here, then you take and you get their bishop, and all of a sudden everything is fair game. And the idea is that if their bishop moves around, you can start attacking it.
Yeah.
And all you need to do is force it off this diagonal to get snacking.
Yeah.
So this would have been interesting. So anyway, so g5. Yeah, this is the end of the game now. All right. Well, yeah. Just try to avoid these blunders. Your position is lost anyway, but your rook. This is not a good rook.
Yeah.
I talk about this a lot in my course, by the way. If a rook cannot move in 3 directions, it's really terrible.
Yeah.
So just get it out of the way. Just move it somewhere here.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, in this position, there's so many other issues.
It's over. But yeah, no, you'd still actually play fundamentally correct.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, I guess that does it for the games. I do want to show you. Let's get to the analysis board. Where is the analysis? Let's get here. All right, I wanted to show you a really cool gambit. Look at this gambit. E4, C5, D4. Have you seen this before?
Maybe, but...
This is the Mora gambit. It's one of my favorite. You know that guy Mark Esserman?
Yeah.
He wrote a really fantastic book on this. This is one of my favorite books. So I'm just going to give you the really short TLDR version of it. Pretty much we're just sacking a pawn. And the idea is we get this position. It's a beautiful position. Look at this. We gave up a pawn, but what did we get in return? We got fantastic bishops. We have an open C file. We have fantastic control of the center. We've gotten rid of their C pawn.
Yeah, that is cool. And it is easy to remember also, the general idea.
Yeah. I'm going to teach you a few more variations of this, but pretty much the idea is we just want to play knight f3, bishop c4, and steamroll them extremely quickly. So they can do a few things. Like they could play knight c6, knight f3, knight f6, bishop c4, and d6. What do you think we would do here? Trust your heart.
Push the pawn?
Yeah, why?
Because when eventually you trade everything off and you could attack their queen with your queen and then they can't castle.
Not exactly, because in this case, if you take, then they're in an endgame. But we have a very nice trick here.
Then you could take with the pawn with the bishop.
Yeah, exactly. Check. Yeah. Very good. We get the queen. So this is one thing that works. They're already close to lost here, believe it or not, after e5. So many people at lower levels, even at my level, by the way, people do this, but because this looks just so natural, like just I'll move the knights out, I'll move my pawn out, but it's already very close to lost.
That's cool.
Yeah. They could also take this way. So that's if they take with a knight. If they take this way, they're not going to lose the queen, but we can take here, If they go king takes, we go here, and we're gonna get snacking. This is very dangerous still. I think it's lost actually. Like they could play king c7 to get out of the fork, but we take here. Now we have a very cool move. We want to attack this rook with our bishop, so we're gonna take. They take. We gave away a piece, so if we take here, we're giving up 2 pieces. That's not gonna be worth it. But instead, we play bishop f4.
Nice.
And they're frozen in midair. If they play knight d7, we can snack on the rook.
That's cool.
Yeah, this is a great position. This is all from that.
It looks fun too.
It's a really beautiful gambit. I think it really should be made the law that everyone under 1200 should just play this gambit.
It looks very fun, honestly, because yeah, it's very active.
Yeah, it's super active. So e5, there's one other line I wanted to show you here. Look at this. If takes, they could take with their knight. This is better than, because king takes was going to run into that knight g5 business. Here we play knight b5. We're threatening this. And a lot of people are going to play king d7, and you have mate in 2. You can take here and mate.
Nice. That's a very nice mate.
Yeah, it's picturesque.
Yeah.
They could also play knight e6 here, but then you would just take, and this looks terrible. Knight c7, and yeah, you're going to get snacking. This is awful. I feel like there's some other line that they can do to try to sort of survive, but I can't remember here. There's something here.
I mean, the computer's saying it's not that bad at this point, so there must be some move they can make.
I don't know. We'll let the computer figure that out. From what I remember, this is close to winning already for.
I mean, I'm certainly.
Oh, sorry. No, it's rook b8. It's rook b8. Yeah, this is the move. This now we don't have a fork, but we take here. This is gonna be mate.
Yeah.
They have to play knight e6. Then we take. We play check here. Takes. What? Yeah, we still get snacking. We get snacking the other way. You can't help but let the horses graze.
I was looking for something to do against the Sicilian, so I'm definitely gonna try this out.
You're gonna like this, man. This is a great opening.
It looks very fun.
If I was trying to get you like beyond like 2200, I would just recommend you get this book by Esserman. But the thing is that it's written for people way above your level.
Maybe down the line.
Yeah, maybe at some point. Friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
So that's a d6 here. There are a lot of other moves they can play though. Normally the way that they're supposed to play this is knight c6, knight f3, d6, bishop c4, and if they play knight f6, they run into trouble with that. They have to play a6 here.
At my level, no one's playing a6.
Yeah, I don't think so. But anyway, like just for the record books, castles, knight f6, you just play queen e2 here, and the idea is you're going to play rook d1. And this is still very annoying. You're going to play e5 because you have this pin here.
Yeah.
This is a very uncomfortable position. Look at this. So a lot of people get their queen out of the way, but now you double down. You're going to play bishop f4, bishop e7, rook c1, castles, bishop b3. I know I just blitzed through a lot of moves, but look at where we put our rooks. We put our rooks on a lot of good squares. Let's say they played bishop d7 here. What do you think you would do in this position? Try to unleash the power of the sun.
Let me think. Let me take a moment. I don't know, because the bishop is moving. I don't see what that changes, because it's not like we're going to attack the b7 pawn. I suppose something involving knight to d4.
Yeah. Oh wait, knight to d4 and knight to d5. Which did you mean?
Well, I was thinking d4 to start attacking that knight, so then you eventually have a discovery with the c knight move.
You have the right idea, but we could just go here immediately.
Yeah.
That's the cool idea. Takes. We lost a knight, but we're going to immediately get it back because of the pin.
That's cool.
And, well, what have we accomplished here? Now these pawns are both super vulnerable.
Yeah.
We just have everything lined up against them. Something is going to drop here. Already, I would assume white is much better. All right, I'm not worried about what that is quite significant, actually, for the computer. 0.5.
Yeah.
It's like a third of the way to winning. Winning is 1.5. But yeah, regardless, this is just something to remember. This is why we had to move the bishop back, to keep this line clear.
That's cool.
Yeah.
1 doesn't count as winning. B
What?
plus 1 doesn't count as winning. It has to be plus 1.5.
Yeah, isn't that weird? But it's just that's supposed to be the measure of like how many pawns you're up, or at least.
I didn't know that, but I'm surprised that like 1 and 1.5 is such a significant difference.
It's not that significant, but it is the boundary. Weirdly enough, yeah. A lot of strange stuff in chess. I thought about that myself. It doesn't really make any sense, right? Because if you're up a pawn, shouldn't that just mean you're winning every single endgame?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Maybe they have to change the rules of chess.
They should.
Yeah.
Or tell these computers how to do it right.
So they could also play queen c7. Look at this. Queen c7, castles, and e6. And this is called the Siberian defense.
I like that name.
Yeah, it's a very nifty trick. The idea here is that this is our normal setup in this position, and if we're just playing automatically, if we're just playing like a computer where we're not really thinking, I guess that's not like a computer, but if we're just playing like a mechanical automaton. Is it automaton or
Automaton?
Automaton. We would play queen e2. Believe it or not, you're already close to lost here after knight g4. Isn't that crazy? They're threatening this, but not even yet. They're going to play knight d4 to distract your knight.
That is scary.
Yeah. Yeah, you're completely screwed here.
Yeah.
You're busted, kid. And like one of the problems here is that if you play rook d1 to stop knight d4, then bishop c5 happens, and this is so uncomfortable.
That looks terrible.
Yeah. So don't do it. Instead, just remember not to play queen e2 here. Part of your homework is just going to be you're going to have to watch this like 15-minute lecture several times to get all these insights. What we're going to do here is we're going to start by playing knight b5. We're hitting both of these squares. They have to retreat. Notice that if we could trade the queen off in some situation, knight c7 would already win.
Yeah.
To just get that mango on a8. Now we're going to play e5 here. This is a really beautiful move. We're attacking the knight. They take, we take, they take. Now we're down 2 pawns because we gambited a pawn in the opening, and now we just lost another pawn. What did we get for the second pawn?
Development?
Yeah, we can play rook e1. We also got an open file. And something that's quite significant that a lot of people miss is that now there is nothing guarding the c file, right? Before they had this knight here on c6. I call knights like this Velcro, pretty much, right? They're so solidified by these 2 pawns here. Even if you had a lot of pressure down that file, you would never be able to do anything with it. Now that that knight has been traded off, you're going to see later on that this file is going to be of critical importance. So they could play queen b8 here. And we're just winning on the spot. We just need to figure out a way to make bishop f4 work because the queen is going to be trapped. We're going to play queen d4. We're threatening bishop f4. They have to try to buffer us with d6. We play bishop f4, e5. Now we have some nice choices. I always prefer takes, and bishop takes when the queen is just going to be trapped.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a good one. You could also take with the bishop, though. And this should also be completely winning. I think like bishop e7, takes, something like check. Yeah, I think they're getting mated here if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Computer says plus 1.5, which is winning. All right. So yeah, going back all the way here. That's if they play queen b8. I know we're blitzing through a lot of lines, but
No, I like to know the general idea.
Yeah.
I'll memorize stuff later.
So they could also play queen c5 here. This is a very nice idea. By the way, for those of you at home, if you like any of these lines, I'm just pretty much repeating these verbatim from Mark Esserman's book. So this is a really cool position here. This queen is under a lot of pressure if we can make use of the c file. So we need to retreat this bishop. We're going all the way back. We don't want to block any of the pieces.
That's a tough move to find for me, but that's a cool move.
Yeah. A really famous grandmaster said that bishops are already developed on f1.
That's cool.
Isn't it interesting? We only move them because we need to get the other pieces in the game. But once all the other pieces are moved in the game, they're fine on squares like this. Because at the end of the day, they're snipers, right? This is keeping an eye on some important squares, and it's completely invulnerable here.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So here, I think they can. They have to try to kick our knight out. We're gonna play bishop e3. We're hitting their queen. Queen c6. Now this is an important moment. If you play rook c1, it looks fantastic, right? Their queen moves. You're gonna get snacking with knight c7. Not so fast. They're gonna take. You take, and they take, and their structure is completely. I gotta make this a different color. Yeah, these should be blue. Their structure is really healthy. They're still up those 2 pawns, so at the end of the day, they have 2 pawns, a knight, a rook for a queen. They're still up material, and you have no attack. So you're actually worse here.
Wow.
So instead of this, you have to find this unbelievable move. You need to play knight a7.
That's nuts.
You're attacking the queen, you're attacking this bishop. The bishop is trapped.
That's a nuts move.
The bishop is trapped. They play queen c7, rook c1, queen d8, and finally you got to snack on this bishop soon. You have to play queen c2, and you're just going to take with the knight.
That's a very cool line, but you could literally give me a million years, and I would never find it.
Well, now you know.
No, it's very cool.
Yeah. This I would bet you if you play the more in 100 games, you're probably going to get this in one of the games.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
If I could play a2 again, or what is it?
Knight
a7.
Knight a7.
Yeah, that'd be a great feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I won a game like this, by the way.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I got snacking. Okay, so this is the Siberian defense. And I just want to talk about what are some other lines. There are only a few other lines that we really need to discuss. They can play What is it? Yeah, they can play g6 here, bishop c4, and then they play bishop g7. This is sneaky stuff, right? This looks like they're going to get a very good structure. They're going to just play d6, knight f6, be perfectly fine. Not so fast. We're playing queen b3. We're chopping on the block.
Nice.
f7 is under pressure. And if they play e6, now they get that same structure we talked about. They do not want this m structure.
Yeah, that
Because
bishop's always going to be ruined.
Yeah, the bishop just has too many responsibilities. It needs to be on g7, but also on e7 to cover all these weak squares.
Yeah.
Here we just play knight b5, and this is already like the
good
end of the
game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really funny. They could play d6 here to stop you for the moment. You play bishop f4, and now they're in a pick your poison type situation. They could stop you from breaking through here by doing that, but then you break through there.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they could go here, but then what was the whole point of the the entire opening? It's just sad. Yeah, and here you would be breaking through anyway with this rook d1 move. This is just a disaster for them. So yeah, this is pretty much the end of the game. I think you're going to be getting a lot of this. A lot of people like playing the dragon here. One last...
Is the dragon just a fianchetto? What's the difference between a dragon and a fianchetto?
Dragon is a king-side fianchetto in the Sicilian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. At least that's how I've understood it. I may be wrong. I think that's more or less everything. There are a few other lines we could talk about. One other line is this. e6, knight f3, a6, bishop c4, b5, bishop b3. Notice that they're just moving their pawns out a lot. They play bishop b7, you castle.
Yeah.
It looks very good, right? It looks like you just have a huge lead in development. I've once played this against the very famous player, Jay Bonin.
Yes.
Do you remember who that is?
The guy that played a million tournaments in New York, the
Yeah,
New York area.
the Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, very good friend of the show. I really like the guy. He's a great guy. At some point, we'll have a video on some of his games. But anyway, in this game, though, he just thought he was gonna. He thought he was gonna trick me. Honestly, he thought I didn't know this stuff. I'd remembered this verbatim from Esserman's book. And the thing is that against an inexperienced player, this b4 stuff is going to be fatal to you. Because if you move your knight in a normal way, he just gets snacking. He takes a second pawn. He's just going to play d5, shield his king completely, you know, put the knights on the golden squares, and just be up 2 pawns for nothing. What do you think we should do here?
Maybe...
Go for it, Kevin.
No, that hasn't been working for me today. Am I moving the knight? Give me a hint. Okay.
Yes. Well, where are you going to move the knight?
Because it's a weird... I get A4, I guess, doesn't work because that seems too natural. So I'm going to go B1 because that's the only move that...
No.
I'm just trying to think of something weird.
Kevin, you got to inherit the wind. You got to go for it.
Okay. Show me why.
Well, what do you think? What are we going to take with here?
The pawn?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful pawn. You're down a full piece here.
And you got the open file with the king.
What do you think the evaluation is in this position? You're
No,
down a full
I
piece.
see that. And that open file is dangerous too.
Yeah.
Plus 4.
I think it's like +1, but it's better for white. Okay, I don't know what the computer...
The computer, we don't worry about the computer. Computers are for nerds.
Grandmasters don't care about computers. Yeah, this pawn is perfect here. Look at this. It completely just muffles these pieces. This knight cannot get to the golden square, so the rook is just going to be locked in forever. Meanwhile, you have a very simple plan. You're going to check, they block with the bishop, and d6. You get your piece back, and you're crashing through on that square.
Nice.
One of the things that was so important in all these setups was that they need to have a pawn on e6 to shield this whole diagonal, because they're going to be so vulnerable there. In this position, though, here, as soon as we play d6, we're pretty much winning. So this was a really interesting game I played with this guy, the Iron Man of chess. He played bishop d6. I checked. And now, I remember showing this game to Esserman after I played it, and Esserman just responded that Bonin has to do this. The Iron Man had to do this, king f8, and now that the game gets very tense, but the idea is I'm going to play queen d4, I'm going to play bishop f4 and try to distract this bishop so I can crash through here with check and start snacking. But instead he plays knight e7. And I really like this example because it's just a beautiful example of how to play these positions. This bishop is holding out all the playback. It's like a dam. It's keeping all of the flood water. I'm not even sure. It's keeping all of the water from breaking through. If I can just get this pawn here, it should be the end of the game. But how am I going to dislodge this bishop? Also, do you remember what this is called?
A treehouse.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
That I do know.
It's in between 2 pawns, exactly. It might not be in one move. It might be in a few moves.
In a few moves.
Yeah.
move the knight a few times.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna have to dislodge the bishop with the knight. So we're gonna play knight g5. We want to get the knights to one of these squares. This comes with an extra twist. If they castle, so my opponent castled here, and he's already lost. Believe it or not, after knight e7, he's dead lost. If I play knight e4 immediately, he plays knight c8. The dam is held, and I might have some tricks, but honestly, I'm just losing here. The cool part is, though, when he plays the knight to c8, so many of his pieces are going to be locked out. I just need to figure out a way to have a king's knight attack ready to go. So I'm going to start with queen h5. This pawn is attacked, he has to defend it, and now I go knight e4. And he played knight c8 in this position, and after bishop takes h6, he just started shaking his head. I think he started smacking his lips as well. He was really upset with himself. This is a terrible position, look at this.
Yeah.
These pieces are all playing Scrabble over here, and
They're doing nothing.
he's just this is completely a hopeless position. There's literally like nothing to even play for here. I'm just gonna play rook e3, rook h3, and mate him. If he takes here, I take this way, and I have like a million mates here. I have knight f6, I have bishop c2, and just any knight discovery with queen h7 with the bishop scoping through.
Yeah.
I have rook e3, I can trade and then just mate on g3, or even rook e3, rook h3. So the game ended very quickly. He played f5. Now I want to play knight g5, right, to look at this square, but if I play knight g5, he plays queen f6, and believe it or not, he's actually fine here, I think. So instead, I just need to throw this move in first. Queen g6, and the game is going to be over now. Queen e7, what happened? I played knight g5, and yeah, the game is just completely over here. Queen h7 is going to be mate.
Mm-hmm.
He took, and I just took.
He's down a queen.
Yeah, it was all over. I think he resigned in a few moves from here. So yeah, that's this gambit.
Nice. Yeah. Like I said, I'll rewatch this for the fine details, but the fundamentals of it, like, I could get into the gambit now and understand it for sure.
Nice.
And I had no plans for the Sicilian, so some plan is definitely better than no plan.
Yeah. Yeah, I think for against some of those openings, like against the French or the Caro-Kann, you can wing it more often than not. But against the Sicilian is just a very annoying system.
Yeah, because, I'm used to playing, like, e4, e5 games or, like, my French games, but as soon as they, like, have anything a little freaky like that, I'm just, like, winging it for move one, and then it's so easy to make a mistake.
Nice. Well, now you know. Okay, so for homework, you got to do more tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
You got to do more tactics. You should do like 30 minutes a day from that program.
I will do it so I don't embarrass myself next time.
Yeah. You got 10 points though.
Yeah, we did. We
Cause
brought
for celebration.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. We'll see you all later.
See you guys later.